Welcome to the live Wicks Talk Show, a place where real conversation sparks inspiration. Join us as we dive into real stories, creativity, and moments that shapes us. Let's get into it.
We welcome you to Live Wicks. We want you down here on the show. We welcome you to Live Wicks. We want you down here on the show. Just take a minute, come down and interview on the show. Oh yeah. Just take a minute, come down and be a part of the show. Oh yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the live Wicks Talk Show. I'm your host, C. Reed, and I'm super excited about the guest that we have on the show today. This guest here is a special person. He's been around me for the last 8-10 years. And when I say informative and knowledge, this is what he brings to the culture, to hip hop, to music, to the whole scene. I'm gonna read off this off this card, because I know I can. It's so much that I want to say. I know I can't say it all, but today's guest is someone who lives where beats, bars, and sonics collide. If you've ever wondered why some records hit different, it's usually come from who's behind the board. His credits span far across the globe, like working with Nas, Scarface, Pimp C, Lil Wayne, Selena Johnson, Twister, Javon Angel, Tip, and so many more. We're joined by audio engineer, producer, who's known for shaping raw hip-hop vocals into finished records that translate across the globe. Welcome to the Live Wicks Talk Show. None other than the man himself, Mr. Noman, MouseQuake, Barrett. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Likewise. Thank you for allowing Live Wicks to have you on this show today, man. So I'm thankful and grateful for you being here, man.
Only for you, though.
Only for me, man. Hey, I talk about relationship all the time, man. Relationship, man. And I believe in treating people right to be treated right, because you never know, man.
You're exactly right.
Man, from the music platform that we had here a few years back, man, it's just been so solid, man. I thank you for that, man. And we got you here on the show today, man, because we want to dive into Mr. Noman MouseQuake Barrett. We're going to dive into the music, military, and so much more, man. And once again, as a vet, thank you for your services also, man. We can't thank you enough, man.
Thank you, sir.
So, how you been, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. You know, I feel a little bit younger, although I'm not. And I'm living pretty good, you know.
Looking good. We got this salt and pepper thing going, man.
Yeah. My dad said that's the wisdom coming.
Is that what? Hey, you know what? I receive that, man.
Yeah.
I receive that, man. How's the family doing, man?
Everybody's well. My daughters are both married. My son is my oldest son is a band director at University of Texas. And my youngest son's a staff producer for Def Jam. So I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome, man. I want to congratulate you, too. I know this past weekend, man, you had a graduation. I think your daughter graduated.
Yeah, she got her BSN from Texas Tech.
From Texas Tech, man. Yeah. Congratulations to you and the
Thank
family,
you,
your wifey on that, man. I want to really and truly just dive into it, man. What is life been like for you, man? And with this music, as far as we'll start with military, man. How did it all start?
Yeah, well, I went to college, North Carolina State, Go Pack. And I got out of school and I was home maybe 2 days. I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I'm going to turn into a drug dealer. I ain't no money, no job. So I got a 10-speed bike and I rode to the recruiter's office.
Wow.
And I said, hey, whoever can get me out of here first, that's where I'm going. Had no plan.
Wow.
I got to the office. and the Army guy said it'd take 2 weeks. The Marine guy, no. In the Navy, I was like, nah. The Air Force guy said, man, if you pass that ASVAB already, I can get you out of here at 6 o'clock. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, I scored 98 on the ASVAB. He said, sit down, sign the paperwork. I was on the bus.
Wow.
And I was going my way to San Antonio that night.
So the Air Force, huh?
Yes, sir. 21 years and 1 day.
21 years and 1 day, man. Wow, man. A story. I bet you got so many stories to tell, man, from your experience.
Yeah,
man.
I had a blast, man. I mean, the military saved my life, to be honest with you. It just gave me a little bit more discipline, more purpose, and I could see farther without having to worry about, just living.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard being a young black dude in the 80s, man. And, once you get away from all that, you see the world it's actually bigger than what you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. MouseQuake, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Are you any siblings? You have any siblings, or is it just yourself?
No, I have 2 sisters. One passed 2 years ago, and 2 brothers.
Just 2. Okay.
2 brothers, yeah. My youngest brother, he's been working for Budweiser since he graduated high school.
Oh, wow.
So he's been working there maybe 30 years.
Wow.
My other brother, he's a filmmaker. He does films. And then my sister, who is still here, she is a jet setter. She's all over the world. She just travels. Yeah,
wow.
She travels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. And what do you fall in?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, you're the oldest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So I may have a little say so, but my sisters, they bossy. So
I was going to ask who was the boss in the house.
My
if you the
sisters were
oldest,
bossy.
man.
Yeah, they bossy. So I can deal with that.
Now, did they cook? Did you cook? Did they cook as well around the house?
It was by committee.
Okay.
Whatever Mama said, it was on.
All right.
Yeah, it was on.
That's what's up, man. We'll just tap that, man. Good, everybody's doing good, and express my condolences too, man.
Thank you.
Man, I want to dive. You know what I want to dive into.
Go ahead. I know where you're going.
It's the music, man.
Yes, sir.
Man. What got you started, man? What prompts you to get you started into music?
Well, when I was a little kid, I think I was maybe 3.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother bought me a set of drums, and that was it. I was stuck. And at that time, the Jacksons was popping. And once I saw Michael, I was like, oh, man, I can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing I couldn't sing a lick, but you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But I knew I can do it. And then over the years, my Uncle David, he played for Sammy Davis Jr. He was his piano player. And he would bring an instrument home when he got off the road and just leave it at the house. And so I got good at the drums, and he came and picked the drums up and dropped the piano off and said, when I come back, you better know how to play this.
So it was pretty much just I
had no choice.
I
had no choice. But I knew what I wanted to be by 5th grade. I knew that I wanted to be a musician, because there was nothing more encapsulating the girls than a musician.
The musician.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was it.
That was it. So that was the moment that you realized audio, or just music, being a musician.
Yeah, I just wanted to be at first I just wanted to be a drummer in a band. So
I was gonna get to what moments, what moments did you realize that, with that, then you got audio engineering and production, all this stuff. Did that come about?
Well, I was as a teenager, I played in a band with a bunch of 40-year-olds.
Okay.
I played in a funk band.
Okay.
And I got to learn what music can actually do to people.
To people, okay.
I played it with them until I was like 17. And then all through the time I was in band, I was in concert band, symphonic band, marching band, jazz band, all through school. And then I just knew that's what I wanted to do. But, I made my name producing records and, working on stuff. And then one day I met a guy named Gerald Hall. His name is Geo Hall. He was the first signed producer to LaFace.
Okay.
And he schooled me. Like, everywhere he went, I went. He's like, I'm coming to get you right now. We got to go to Atlanta to do this. And that's how I learned how to do stuff. And once I saw him doing it, I was like, that's it. But then I went in the military.
Okay.
And so while I was in the military, I had access to money because I didn't have to pay no bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had free room and board. And so I just started buying stuff. You know, I would go and buy a keyboard here, drum set here. I bought, with my first military paycheck, I bought a SP 1200 sampling drum machine.
Yeah.
Had no money for about 2 months because it was like, back then it was like $9.99. I think it was $999. I was broke, but I had the machine. And then the whole time I was in the military, I knew that I wasn't going to so-called make it out a career, but I end up staying because it was easy for me to do. And then while I was in the military, I was always submitting tracks to record labels, whatever. And I think I told this one time before. I had submitted a tape to a company, and I was stationed in Turkey.
Yeah, I remember you speaking about that. Tell us a little bit, because I was going to ask you now. You were military, you had to fly back.
Yeah, I had to pawn something to get a ticket to fly back to LA. I flew to LA, went to the meeting, and I was told that I wasn't ready.
Was like within 15 seconds or a minute of?
I think she listened to maybe 4 songs or whatever.
Was it 4 songs? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and she was like, "You're good, but you're not ready. Come see me when you're ready." And I was like, "Dang, man." So luckily, I was smart enough to buy a round trip ticket.
Right.
I flew from Ankara, Turkey to Los Angeles, California with $75 in my pocket.
Ankara, Turkey. $75.
Yeah,
wow.
$75. So I had just enough money at every stop to buy me a sandwich and something to drink, because I knew I was only gonna stay one day because I had to be back. Right. And and that kind of, a young guy, you probably can get mad or whatever, but I didn't get mad. I just knew that, okay, if she's telling me I'm not ready yet is right around the corner.
That's right around the corner.
And so I just stayed and practiced, and all that time I just practiced and practiced and practiced. And then when I got out of the military, I was already kind of established with working on stuff. I worked on, when I got back to the States, one of my friends, his name was Stanley Templeton, he knew Bo Blunt, who they called him the Suge Knight of Dallas at the time. And he turned me on to some stuff. He came to my dorm room in Abilene, Texas, and kind of auditioned me for that. And then he had me working on this artist called Pimpster. He had a song called Dickies and House Shoes. I did the remix for that. Nobody even knew it was me, but I did the remix for that. And, they just started getting me jobs and stuff. So by the time I got out of the military, I had an established name already.
Established name with some clientele.
Yeah. But what got me into the engineering was I submitted some tracks and I got them with this artist. And then they sent me the reference mixes back and they sounded bad. And I was like, man, I didn't do that. So I decided at 41 that I need to go to school and learn what I can hear so I can tell people what I'm doing.
And that's where Media Tech come in, right?
Well, no, I went to SMU first.
SMU first.
And then I went to Media Tech.
Okay.
And then after that, by being at Media Tech was still a functioning commercial studio. Okay. So everybody and their mama was coming in there. And just so happened that my 3 teachers were Tim Kimsey, who did Erykah Badu, Pantera, Kirk Franklin, and UGK. And my other teacher was Joe Macri, who played bass on Play That Funky Music, White Boy.
Okay.
And James Dumaine. Yeah, and James played with everybody, Percy Sledge, everybody. So those were my teachers. So I got to get real world experience because I was older than most of the people in the school. So I knew what was going on. So they would pull me into every session that would come in. Like if somebody big would come in, they snatch me out of class and put me in a session because I was already mostly advanced already. I got to sit on a lot of stuff. And then after I got out, of school, I just went full-fledged because I had the skill set and the skill set. I had what the world wanted, but I had the skill set what the people wanted. And I've been doing engineering and stuff by referral for the past 20 years. I haven't told anybody what I do. They just call me.
We had the panel, and I remember you sitting on the panel, and I think I was probably the youngest one on the panel when we had it here, man. I think I had been 16 years in, 17 years in it. I'm 22 in it now, 23 years in it now.
Yep.
And I learned under the teachers of Cornell Watson, Cal Berkeley of music.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
So, like you say, man, that ear and what you can learn, what I mean, yeah, you got to get that. You got to get that education underneath.
Yeah, you got to learn from the ones who have already done it, and then you don't just take what they do. You learn it, and then you put you in it.
You put you in it.
Yeah, you put you in it. It gets easier.
Yeah,
it gets way easier.
That is true, man. How was it, man? You know, I asked you earlier, man. Was off screen? I was talking to you about Nas, man, and working with Nas. You say it was short, simple, and to the point, and done deal.
Yeah, we didn't even have to do a whole lot of talking. He just like 2 takes, and he was out of there.
He was out of there, man.
He was out of there. Y'all good? Yeah. Gone.
When you're solid and you perfect your craft, man, it don't take long.
Yeah,
man.
they come prepared, because they know their time is limited.
Yeah.
And they have to do other things, like it's just weird. You just sit down and you be like, you see the people like, oh, they famous, but in your mind, you gotta hold up. I gotta work. Like, all that stuff came about because of Mr. Lee. I had met Lee a long time ago. Like, we was at a Puka Leroy listening session. And, I was sitting right by him. I didn't even know who he was. We just talking. And then, some years passed, and I was working at another studio here in Arlington. And I had a situation with it. The day Lee called me and said, hey, man, what you doing? I'm like, I'm at home. He said, you still at that little studio? I said, nah, I'm in transition. He said, well, come to the house. I said, so if you know Lee has a couple houses. So I was like, which one? He was like, the one so-and-so. I said, okay. So I'll be up there on Tuesday. It was Sunday. I called the rapper See-Through. I said, because See-Through he wanted to meet Mr. Lee.
Right.
I said, hey, man, if you drive me to Mr. Lee's house, you can meet Mr. Lee. He agreed. So we met, and I went up to Lee's house. We get to the house, and we just talking, forget while I'm there. I forgot while I was there, and he did too, because we hadn't seen each other a while. So we just yappy.
Right.
He said, oh, let's go upstairs to the studio. I said, okay. So we go up to the stairs to the studio. He said, hit the space bar. Hit the space bar, and Pimp starts coming through the speakers. I stopped it. I said, hold up. Negro, is this Pimp C's? Like, yeah. I said, what you doing with that? He said, I need you to help me mix this album.
Wow.
I was like, okay. And there it went. And we went from doing that. Yeah, it took us about a year to get it done because rest in peace, Pimp, he wasn't here.
Correct.
So we just had a bunch of his tracks and a bunch of vocals. So Lee created most of the beats. And then we just synced them together, and then I mixed them, and he did his thing on the mix, and we just mixed them, put the album out. Wow. But all those artists, those features we got, they were all because of Pimp.
Wow.
Everybody wanted to be up, and we had some that didn't even make the record.
Oh, wow.
That were like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
That brings up a question, man. You work with so many artists here in the DFW, man. To name a few, but when you really dive into whom you have came in contact with and work with, man, it's legendary. It's amazing, man, for around here in the Metroplex, man. And I know now you've went out to Atlanta. Yeah. And just even greater.
Well, man,
what's that been like?
Atlanta's a real different place. I mean, Atlanta will make you happy that you're Black. There's only like 2 places I've ever been outside of Atlanta, my hometown, Newark, New Jersey, and Oakland, California, that make you proud to be Black. And Atlanta will make you proud to be Black.
Yeah.
There's so much everywhere you go, there's somebody affluent that's black.
Mm.
And then they don't act Hollywood either.
That's right.
You know, you'll go in the store and they'll be in the store, buying stuff that you buy. Going to Walmart, you might see somebody like, this dude doing in Walmart. He in there buying regular packs of underwear like we buy.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
But yeah, Atlanta is a great place. But I tell you, Dallas, I made my name in Dallas to where that, if somebody says, MouseQuake this, MouseQuake that, they know me from here.
Yeah.
They know me from here.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing, man. Man, you've been a blessing to a lot of people.
I try, man.
You've been a blessing to a lot of people, man. Let's get into this engineering thing, man.
Okay.
When you start a project, what's the first sound you listen for before even touching it?
Well, first thing I pray. I wait for God to get in the room, like when Quincy said, when God walked in the room, that's when the magic starts.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll listen to the reference tracks that they send me before I even touch anything. Take a whole day to do that, make notes, try to find out what the artist's strengths and weaknesses are, and I try to capitalize on the strength to enhance the weaknesses. And then I try to figure out, as a consumer, what would make me listen to this more than once. And then once I get all my notes, then I take a day, write them all out, get everything laid out, and then I pray again. Okay, God, tell me what this song is supposed to do for me as a consumer, not as an engineer professional. And then after that, God, turn the light on, I'm rolling. I don't even remember half the stuff that I'm doing because I'm just rolling what God tell me to do every time.
Okay. I just finished the track today. I had to mix for a person, man. They're in Atlanta right now.
Oh yeah.
And I was actually giving them your information too, because if you're there in Atlanta and they're in Atlanta for a month or 2 months and they want to get the studio,
I'm right down the street.
I'm giving you their information.
Yeah.
I'm giving your information to them. So I'm like, yeah, man, this is if.
Yeah, because I frequent Soul Asylum. My friend Raphael Capone owns Soul Asylum, and he has a Dolby Atmos theater inside his studio.
I heard you speaking about that on Friday.
Yeah, and so I'm there a lot. And besides, I have a Dolby Atmos set up in my house too. Okay. So, but when I want to go to the theater, I go down to his spot. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. How do you balance technical precision with raw emotion in a mix, man?
I stay away from the technical stuff until I got the song feeling good. That's the thing. I don't want to have the song lose its texture because I'm trying to make sure it's sonically correct. Like most of the time, people don't realize that these songs are created by compressed and professional sounds already.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to do a whole lot, but you have to do enough to make it feel like it's a person doing it. And so I try to stay as far away as I can from the technical side of anything, because I always put in my mind that the Beatles made a #1 album that sold 4 million copies in a hallway with 2 microphones. So I was like, if they can do that, and I got all this technology where I don't have to do a whole lot of work, I can take my time and get it right.
That's amazing, man. So many people feel like they got to touch every single thing. They got to compress, they got to EQ, got to do everything. Some of it don't need it, man.
I don't even, I used to get in trouble for not using compression all the time because I'm not a fan of squashing the life out of a song. But one of my mentors was like, hey, sometimes you got to use it, sometimes you don't. So I have the way I work set up to where if I need it, it's there.
It's there, yeah.
But I try to stay as far away from it as I can, because usually when they send over the tracks, they've already compressed a whole lot of stuff, and me squeezing it don't work. Yeah.
Do you mix differently for artists chasing radio versus artists chasing authenticity?
No.
You don't?
No. I approach it that every mix I do has to be better than the last one.
Better than the last one. Okay.
So what I did before don't mean nothing if this one is bad. And so I just stay. If the song feels good, then I'm good.
That's kind of a weird question, huh? It's because you think when you think
really.
about it. When you think about it, man, it's every song is different, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it comes from. When I listen to the song for a day, or a group of songs for a day, then I try to find out what it does, and what intrigues me about it. Like, you get some rap songs and they're 808 heavy, hi-hat heavy, and that's what they want.
Yeah.
So you just have to learn how to temper that. And you get some rappers that or singers, they auto-tune heavy. They don't require a whole lot of thinking. If they get the auto-tune key right, you really got nothing to do. But you have to just make sure the song is going to convey what they want. So I usually ask them what they like, who they like, what were you thinking when you made the song? And they look at me like, why is he asking me all these questions when he just makes the song? Well, I'm taking a mental picture so I can get a physical picture, and I can get an emotional picture what the song wants to do.
Wow. What's the man, so many questions. What's the biggest misconception artists have about producers, engineers?
That we want to do what we want to do. A lot of times you get artists that say, I want to sit in with you when you mix. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And some just don't. Some that know that's what you're gonna do, they just do it. But they always think that you're trying to change their song. And what ends up happening is you expose some of the things that are wrong with the song. So I've learned to not say much of anything until they ask me. My opinion is only valuable if you ask me for it. Okay. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to do exactly what you asked me to do.
Has technology really and truly changed? Has technology changed the way you approach sound compared to when you started?
I know it's made it a lot easier. I don't know if it's changed it much because I still use a lot of analog stuff. Like sometimes when I get a song and I have at least it's ADATs, I got 48 tracks of those. So I'll just run it through the ADAT just to make it feel warmer.
Feel warm, yeah.
Because the saturation plugins don't do it. I don't know. I think it's just the tape. Yeah. I just run them through the ADATs and then I run them back into Pro Tools. Then I can do what I need to do, or whatever, Ableton or whatever.
Analog, analog will never be touched.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn it up loud as you want. It still sound good. The difference between analog and digital is that digital, all the noise is at the bottom. All the noise is at the top. Analog, all the noise is at the bottom. So you turn it up loud in analog, it gets fuller. You turn it up loud in digital, it starts breaking up.
Wow. So, streaming. Has streaming changed the way you approach mixes today?
Yeah. Because unbeknownst to a lot of people, they have a little normalize button on every streaming platform.
Notice that, huh?
Yeah, so, if you make it hot, they're going to drop it down. So you got to kind of cheat a little bit. You got to make it where they like it at, but still squeeze it in that little area. Like, I heard a Glorilla record. I can't remember the name of the record, but it was loud and clean. And I was like, man, who did that? And he told me the guy's name. I hit him up on Instagram. I was like, hey, man, I don't know what it is you did, but you got to show me how to do that.
Real talk, huh?
Yeah, so we got a meeting set up in Atlanta. When he comes back to Atlanta, they can show me how to do it. It's just amazing. Streaming, man, and it doesn't pay anything, which is really crazy. But so that's why sometimes you hear some records, they're nice and crispy and loud, and some of them are not. And I have a membership with AES, so I can see how they do that. But streaming is, if they pay like radio, it'd be great.
It'll be great.
But right now, I'm a big proponent. I do not like streaming. I don't like it because it don't pay nothing. I mean, why somebody have to have 1 million streams to make it $4,000?
That's something, huh?
Yeah,
Snoop
you played my
Snoop said it
song.
best.
Yeah, you played my song 1,000,000 times, and I only make $4,000, but you make a couple $100,000, and you didn't do
And
anything.
didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
What's something that's happening today in hip hop sonically that most people aren't paying attention to but should be?
The overuse of auto-tune. And the inability to know what key your song is in.
To know what key your song is in.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'll get a record and I'll have to tell them to print the auto-tune, because if I hear it, I'm gonna say it's out of key.
Mm-hmm.
To them, it's in perfect key. Yep. That and the inability to make the 808s be in key too. You know, it's kind of hard to, explain to some of these young cats that, hey, that 808 is out of key, because they just put the 808 in, they just go to C. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, sonics, man, hip hop, it's getting better. I can tell you that much. It's way better than it was when we first started, because we just had it loud.
Pretty much.
We had it loud.
Loud.
And because the tape could take it, but this digital stuff can't take it. Yeah.
Getting back on independent artists, man, and we talked about on Friday how they didn't stay to pay attention.
Did not pay attention.
Didn't pay attention to listen, man. From your perspective, what mistakes do independent artists make when it comes to sound and branding?
Well, with the sound is they think that they don't need it to be mixed and mastered. That's the first thing. They just want to put it out. And that puts you at a distinct disadvantage, because the people you're competing with, they're getting their stuff mixed and mastered. And because it's so readily available to every little home studio or whatever, everybody thinks they can just do it. Now, with the branding, I think a lot of artists just think because they think their song is hot, that it's gonna be the one, not knowing that over 100,000 songs are put on the internet every day, and nobody's gonna catch yours out of the blue without somebody telling them. Like Ray Daniels said one time, if your song don't hit me in the first 20 seconds, I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of them got to get that. And, a lot of them believe what their homeboys say. Oh, your stuff is hot. Dude, there's about 15 other hot people saying the same thing, but they got money. Yeah. They still don't
understand, though, the importance of consistency.
Oh,
how important is consistency, man? Can you tell the people how important consistency is?
Yeah, consistent, man.
In sound?
It's just like a simple process. If you're trying to get a pretty girl, you can't talk to her on Monday, then don't talk to her again until Thursday.
Right.
Music is the same way. You got to love it up. You got to either be committed to it or just say it's a part-time hobby. And that's half of the rap and half of the music business right now. It's a part-time hobby. They only want to do it when they think they want to do it. And there are people out there, that's all they do. So you're already behind immediately. Like, I'm a proponent of learning all the time. So I'm trying to learn something every day to get better, because I might walk into a room and that thing I learned on Tuesday will be the thing that saved my life on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Signature style, MouseQuake. You got your signature style, man. People recognize a MouseQuake sound. How would you describe it without using technical terms?
I'm a mixture of like 6 people. I'm a mixture of Quincy Jones for the arrangements, Babyface for the smoothness, Teddy Riley for the drums, Prince for just getting all the music to fit together.
Overall,
Kashif, I know a lot of people know who Kashif is, but Kashif for the way those songs sat together. And then James Brown for just the overall raw feeling. I want to get it done. I want it to feel like I hear it in my head. And after, listening to James Brown, they do songs and they practice it on the stage, and then they go in the studio the next day and cut the record on 2 takes.
So what visual do you give, mental visual? Even though you got that, is there like, okay, take for example, I love to set my stage in the mix.
I do that too.
Do you set your stage in the mix?
I do that too. Yeah, I even have
gym away, y'all.
yeah, I even have the mixing board set up the way that I should hear it. So I don't have to necessarily move things around. Like, I'm a classically trained drummer, so I make the drums face like the audience, and then I set them by the way they're hit from center to left or right. And then, all being a symphony orchestra, I learned how the pit was set up. So I set up the instruments like the pit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. A lot of people don't see that though. A lot of you mix engineers, they don't look at it that way. Some of them, I guess, that's something that the newer age, they don't see it like we see it.
No, because a lot of them don't really know what the real instruments sound like.
They really don't, man.
Yeah, they don't, they really don't know what they sound like.
Is there, MouseQuake, is there a rule you intentionally break in the studio?
Yeah, I never do the same thing twice. Because if I do the same thing twice, I'm become formulaic. And there are no songs have a formula. It's either good or it ain't.
That's true. Collaboration. What separate artists who are ready for the studio from those who just think they're ready?
Practice.
Practice.
A lot of them don't practice. They like even the event we had Friday.
Yeah.
A lot of them came up here rapping over their lyrics, which means they hadn't practiced anything, out of breath. And then when we told them that, here come the excuses. It's like you don't get a second chance at anything.
No.
And so you got to practice. If they practice, then they understand the depth of what you're doing. It's like they always say, yeah, Beyonce be working. That girl be working. All these artists that you on TV, they be working and they working at it. But you think you can just come up and rap, sing?
Don't work that way.
Nah, because when we would tell them like, hey man, I could tell you rapping over your lyrics or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they was like, well, one guy said, well, I was just told I was going to do this yesterday. And I'm saying they told me about this in June. And it's December, and you saying you were just told yesterday. I don't believe that. So it's always an excuse, but they don't practice.
Even if you were told yesterday, you still got to be ready regardless of what situation it is, though.
Yeah. You remember I told the dude, I said, you need to practice in the mirror.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, you need to practice in the mirror. You saw yourself in the mirror, how you looked up here. You would never say that again.
Yeah. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
How do you handle creative disagreements without killing the vibe? Like, I know we've all been in those sessions where it's like, man, how can I keep this thing positive, energetic, and upbeat? And it's just the energies are just colliding.
Yeah, I usually just let them do what they want to do.
Okay.
And then after they do what they want to do, I play it back.
Okay.
And once they hear what the playback is not what they heard up here,
right,
then they're more apt to take your advice. Yeah, because I've worked with some Grammy-winning singers that I would just let them go. And then once I let them go and they hear it and they say, what do you think? Then it's time for me to talk. But that's the biggest thing. You never offer your opinion unless they solicit it.
I know you've been in this game a long time, man. What was a failure in your career that ended up sharpening your skill the most?
This is funny.
I don't even want to call it a failure, an experience.
Yeah, I call a failure a lesson. One time, Lee had me come to record Willie D.
That was like,
yeah, record Willie D. And Willie, he was like rapid with it, really rapid with it, you know. But he wasn't giving me enough time to do what he needed to do. He was like, okay, let me hear all that back. Wait a minute, you punched in 5 times. You gotta let me put it to where you can hear. It just went south real quick. So I had to call Lee. I said, Lee, come back upstairs. You're gonna have to record this guy because I can't do it. And Lee just laughed at me, like, no, you can do it. He's just pushing your button. And 5 minutes later, I was recording him again. And at the end of the session, me and Willie are sitting on the couch laughing because it was funny, you know. And that just taught me right there that, okay, everybody is not thinking the way I'm thinking. Everybody's not mentally prepared just because they're here. Some people are filling it out. And he was just filling it out. I didn't know he was filling it out. And then about a week later, I had another artist with Lee that he punched in every 4 or 5 words. And I was like, we're not gonna get anything done. We're gonna be here all night. We end up getting 12 bars in 7 hours.
Wow.
I thought that was a failure for me, but it was actually the lesson that, okay, regardless of what I think, that's not what the artist thinks. And that just changed everything for me.
Thought, yeah, okay, well, they paying for it. Let me go and get it done.
That's it. That's what happened. I was paid before I got here. So,
and with studios, so with home studios everywhere now, what still separates industry level records from bedroom hits? You know, everybody feels they can do it out the house.
Yeah, well, you know, they're cheap. They buy the cheapest thing. As a people, our culture, we always holler, get it out of the mud. Well, that don't work because they're not getting it out of the mud either. You can't start off cheap and think that cheap is going to turn into quality. It just don't. If that was the case, dollar store would be the #1 store on the planet. But you know, you buy some out of the dollar store, it's broke. You got to go back to the dollar store and get it instead of just investing in what do you need for a pro and do it, or pay somebody to do it for you. Because I've mixed almost over the past couple of years, I've mixed probably 80% of the stuff I've done in my house. But I've spent the money to compete with the big boys.
Correct.
Yeah, and so a lot of these, I mean, I get stuff, you can hear the fan blowing, you know, you can hear the bathroom, they flushing the toilet, you get the dog in the neighborhood, and they think that's okay. Till you play, okay, let me show you what you're trying to do. And you play something that they're trying to do, and then all of a sudden the light bulb comes on. But we got to get out there, get it out of the mud stuff, man.
Yeah. That's, and I hate to say that's us, but that's
it's us. It's us.
That's how we're saying. You can't nickel and dime your way through, man.
Nah.
And which goes back to what artists should understand about engineering and production before they even start spending money. It's pretty much like you just said, man. They got to understand. You want that sound, you want quality. You gotta spend a little bit of money.
I always
pay for.
I always tell them, like the young guys come in. First I scan them up and down, see what they're wearing. Yeah. See what they're wearing. Okay, you got on a $230 pair of Jordans. You got on the Gucci belt. You got on a Versace, Versace shirt. You got all the jewelry on, but you want to talk to me about the price of this. Okay, what do you want to do? You want to look good, or you want to make money and look good? I always tell them, you're spending the money to look good that you got to try to make back off the music, and then you cut the thing that's going to make you the money to get all that stuff.
It's your lifetime money.
Yeah,
they don't understand that. They could be lifetime money. Them clothes gonna last for a certain period of time.
Yeah, I worked with a famous artist. He came in with a Walmart hoodie on and a Walmart pair of sweats and some slides, and made a platinum record. So, you just never know.
If a young engineer wants to break into hip hop today, what skill matters more than plugins?
Communication skills.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got
nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, you have to be able to listen to what they're asking you for, and if you can't deliver it, you got to tell them. I got asked to work on a country record a couple weeks ago, and they sent over the reference. I was like, hey, this is good, but I'd make this too black because you want it flat. I don't hear that.
Right.
But I know somebody who does. Communication skills. And right after that, I started getting all their R&B clients. So, yeah.
Where do you hear hip hop sonically going next, and what are most people missing right now?
I think it's going to go back to what hip hop was before.
I believe that too.
Yeah, because hip hop is missing a lot of musicality, and it's missing a lot of creativity.
Substance.
Yeah, it's like they're it's like a record executive told me once that if you hear it now, we heard that 3 years ago. We planned for this to be 3 years ago. And once it goes back, then it advanced like it did in the 90s. Like in the 80s, we were just learning how to get it there. And then in the 90s, it just went somewhere else. And until they realize that there are CNN, what they say we see, and what we say the world does, because we're the most imitated people in the world.
That's
Black
true.
Americans. I don't care what anybody tells you.
That is true.
Anywhere you go, they trying to look like us, sound like us, and be like us. Except for we don't realize it.
And I don't understand why we don't realize that.
I don't either.
And it's right there in our face.
I go all over the world and I see people. Like I went to Japan and I saw Japanese kids with afros, cornrows, baggy pants, Timberland boots. You know, that stuff that we took a regular work boot that everybody now they think it's part of hip hop.
Wow.
We made Timberland. We made Polo. You know, so that's where we got to go. We gotta remember who we are, and that whatever we say goes. Once we realize that, it's over.
Once we realize that everybody want to be us, it's over.
You remember what Paul Mooney said? Everybody want to be one until they got to be one.
Until they got to be one.
Yeah.
Wow. Do me a favor, Miss MouseQuake. I want you to look right here into this camera. And I want you to tell somebody, a young person who's wanting to get into hip hop, who's wanting to learn and wants to know more about getting into hip hop, what can you tell them today about getting into production engineering?
I have a philosophy that I use right now. I study, I learn, then I practice, then I study some more, I learn some more, and then I practice. I rinse and repeat it over and over. And if you listen to what came before you, what's going to be in front of you is going to come from somewhere in there.
That's true. That's real talk. How can if people want to get in contact with MouseQuake, how can they, what's your handles? Can you share your handles with the people, the clients? And I know a lot of your clients is pretty much referral clients, or, you know, a lot of relationships that you've built over the years and your clients. Somebody's new in it and say they're pretty good at it, they're decent. How can they get in contact with you?
Well, my social media is the same thing all across the board. It's at MF MouseQuake, MFMousquake, and MF does not stand for what you think it stands for. Stands for most famous.
Most famous.
Shout out to Disney for giving me a cease and desist. So,
man, that's a masterclass in sound and culture. Huge respect to Mr. MouseQuake for breaking down what really goes into making records, making hits the way they're supposed to make them.
Yes, sir.
And there's so much more we could talk about, man. And it's hours and hours and hours. And ain't enough time in the day to talk about the knowledge that you have and that you have shared with so many people across this globe. If you're an artist, producer, engineer, hey, make sure you rewind this episode back because you can learn. It's something that you're going to miss that you didn't see it the first time. Make sure you're reminded and take notes. Go back, take a look, and listen to what Mr. MouseQuake has spoke about and adhere to it. Embed it in your heart, because there's going to be some long days and some lonely nights in this music, man. But you got to practice. You got to practice. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and we'll catch up with you later. It is the live Wicks Talk Show. And once again, Ms. MouseQuake, thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you anytime.
This show, man, and man, it's so much, and I don't want to keep you here too late, man. There's so much we can talk about, man. And, that's it, y'all. Make sure y'all follow us. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Peace. Okay, you got to take it
to the end of my car.
Oh, it's